We're spinning. Good morning. I am Beth Hildenbrand, and this is Booked Up with Beth. This morning, I am delighted to introduce you to Gregory T. Gladding. And we're going to talk about his wonderful book, Mara, and hear more about his other books. But first, I would like to have Gregory introduce himself, and we can find out a little bit more about him. Good morning, Gregory.
Well, good morning, Beth. Thank you for having me on your show. Actually, we pronounce my name Glading with a long A, but I usually don't correct. But I'm called Gladding so much I don't correct it. But just for the note, and the book is called The Hymn of Mara.
Oh,
and
my
it's
bad.
it's my 11th novel. I've already completed my 12th. It's with the publisher. So.
Oh, that's fabulous. My maiden name was Schaefer. I don't know how many times I can tell you I have been called Schaffer because it was Shafer instead of all the F's and things.
I would never forget that because it was the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
Yes, exactly. And you're from Pennsylvania too, so
yes,
I'm sure you came across a lot of different spellings for my name.
Yeah,
around here. PA is a wonderful place, and one of your characters in this book was from Pennsylvania.
Yes,
Lawrence. Mm-hmm. And I so much enjoyed this book.
Thank you.
And I am going to have to read some more of yours. So Lawrence was from Pennsylvania, and he gets sent to work on a railroad. He's a railroad man.
In India.
In India, yes. And I love the way you described the sights and sounds of India and the food. I have to say, I was getting cravings as I read the book. And he comes across Mara, and she is a fascination to me. Her father was an American minister, and her mother was Indian.
Yes.
And she has this beautiful voice, which she uses to sing hymns. And she also teaches the children there, and she acts as a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
And they meet when he gets bitten by a cobra.
Correct.
Yeah. I get the shivers just thinking about it. And I hate to give any more of the book away, so I won't.
Oh, okay.
But they end up in quite the adventure, these two, but both on separate paths. They are, they are bound together, but in this adventure, they're kind of living it separately and yet intertwined. It's hard to explain.
Right.
I'm going to let you explain. Go ahead.
Well, obviously, they're from very different backgrounds. Lawrence is still torn from his old fiance, and as you know, he ended up in India. Essentially, his fiance's father wanted to break them up because he didn't consider him up to their social standing. So he kind of tricked him into taking the job.
Which was a blessing in disguise.
He's there. He's not looking for romance. He's just there to do his job, essentially. And that happens.
And then there is the crazy, what's his name? Sir Nigel.
Nigel Browning, yes. Yeah, he's my villain.
Yes, and I'll tell you what, this man is bat poop crazy.
Uh-huh.
He believes that he is Lord Shiva.
You're right. And
that Mara is going to be his Kali.
Correct.
And that Lawrence is going to be I'm sorry, not enough coffee this morning. What is it called?
Well, it's you know what, I forget the deity that he wanted to assign Lawrence to, but he would certainly be his right-hand man, so to speak.
Exactly. And this boggles me.
Right.
But although he honestly believes this.
Yeah, I didn't want to put up Browning as being so I hope this doesn't, you could bleep this out, batshit crazy, so to speak, because he's an incredibly powerful man. He owns a huge tea plantation. He's connected to British royalty, to corporations, but he has this obsession, I guess, delusion of himself spiritually.
Yes.
And he spots Mara, and because he believes that his power will come to fruition when he meets Kali, the goddess that will empower him to be Shiva. And he spots her, and instantly he's smitten by her, besotted, and says, "Yeah, that is the goddess. She's not even human. She's a goddess." And he would stop at nothing to get her.
I guess you would say he's like a baby Hitler, or he's trying to be.
Not Hitler.
Delusions of grandeur,
Oh
thinking
yeah,
that
I was thinking more Jim Jones, Charles Manson,
there you
Shoko
go.
Asahara, that type of deluded cult leader, as
Yes,
opposed to.
exactly.
Although some do say the Nazis were a cult, but not so much political, more spiritual.
Yes, 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 definitely. I was grasping this morning. Like I said, not enough coffee yet.
Yeah,
Um, but
I've
he
got
thinks
one up on you because I just drank a pot of espresso. So I'm in
there
high
you
gear
go.
right now for you.
There you go. Yeah, Hitler was just the first thing that came to mind. But yeah,
Yeah,
Jim Jones is more definitely in character with this guy.
yeah.
Uh, just a total nut job.
Hmm.
And so he's got Lawrence kind of over a barrel because, Lawrence works for the railroad. And here's this big plantation owner. He
Yeah.
has the money. He's got the railroad guys in his pocket
Hmm.
and the British government in his pocket. And so Lawrence is kind of playing along because, at this point, what else can he do?
Right.
So, okay, yeah, I'm going to play your game, crazy man.
Hmm.
And Mara's just hiding from him because, she's terrified.
Oh, and for good reason.
She thinks he's the devil incarnate.
Hmm.
And I'm not going to give away the ending because it's too
Okay.
good. It's too
Oh,
good.
thank you.
Yeah, we're not going to give away the ending. And when I wrote my review, which I gave you 5 stars, by the way,
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. I need it.
I would
You
not
post
give
that up on
away.
Amazon, please.
I would
Yeah.
not give away the ending either. I
Hmm.
said you're going to have to read this for yourself and find out. But yes, it's a terrific ending, and it's just got all the adventure elements. The characters are very well written, and even the side characters. I loved his little British Army sidekick
Hmm.
and the nurse. She's fabulous.
Oh, yeah, Nurse Fairley. Yeah, I liked her.
Yeah, she's a trip. She really
Yeah.
is. She
Hmm.
those two added, such a good sense of humor to all the heavy happenings. They
Hmm.
kind of added the humor that you needed. So yeah, it was just a very well written book and fun to read. Um, uh, Nina says, "Can you show us your book cover?" Do you have it handy?
Yeah. Okay, my wife's grabbing a copy. She's here. She's here.
Hi.
And Beth Hildenbrand says hi, the podcast host. Okay.
So yes, I really enjoyed this book. And you said this was your 11th and you're working on
Yeah.
your 12th?
No, I finished my 12th.
Oh, and what's this one?
Well, this one, the Hymn of Mara, here's the cover.
Oh, yay. Yes, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful cover.
Thank you. Well, this is one of the most challenging books I've ever written because, like, what did I know about 1905 India?
Yeah.
But so I had to do some deep research, deep concentration, like to make this work. My latest book, it's called The Seventh Bell, and I decided to write a book that's a little easier to write for me. Boxing is the background of it. It takes place in Philadelphia, where I'm from, so it just made it easy. I put it in the early '60s, which I love the Ike JFK culture. I drive a '51 Chevy, and I
Oh, I
love the
love it.
music and the culture. But please don't think Rocky. It's nothing like Rocky.
Well, you know what theme song just popped into my head as soon as you said Philly and boxing.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Rocky theme song starts. Da-na-na, da-na-na.
nothing like that. Totally, totally different. Totally different. In a nutshell, it juxtaposes a Polish American guy from South Philly, real working class, traditional type person. He's boxing as a middleweight. And then the other boxer, he's Puerto Rican. He's married to, well, he marries Elizabetta, beautiful, beautiful Puerto Rican girl. And anyway, at the end of part one, Tony, that's the Polish guy's name, and Miguel, that's the Puerto Rican boxer. Miguel is tragically killed in the match,
Oh,
and and Tony is just stricken with guilt. I mean, I was in the military, and you know, as I've noted in the top of the stairs, that was my one of my novels. It was sort of military based. I mean, when you kill somebody, that it has incredible, horrible effects on some people. Some people don't care. Obviously, Ted Bundy didn't care, but you take Tony Stewart for example. You heard about the tragic accident. He was, of course, a NASCAR champion, and he ran over somebody. I don't know if it was in his pit crew or just a worker, and that was the end. He never drove a race again. So he gives everything to the widow. All of his earnings, he just devotes himself to that. Of course, he quits boxing, and soon the widow finds out that he's been helping her, and they meet and they talk, and they end up falling in love and getting married.
oh,
And actually, the same angel that advises Mara advises her, because she is torn between this, being a widow, very in love with her late husband, and she says to tell him to take his title fight because that was a title eliminator where Miguel was killed. So he fights for the title, and he's got a chance to knock the guy out. But he has a flashback of Miguel. He looks at Elizabeth, and he pulls his punch and doesn't hit him, or he just kind of. So the fight ends, and he had lost on points. However, the the champion is controlled by the mob, and the mob decided it would be better if he would lose on points because then they can make more money in the rematch. So he gets a decision. So it's not like Rocky where he gets all this glory, and he immediately retires after it. To press, and eventually his not going to say his sidekick, but one of his stablemates, he gives him the title shot. So
oh! I can't wait to read that.
no, I can't wait for you to read it as well. It should be out within a couple of months.
Oh, that's fabulous! You'll have to come back on the show. You'll have to come back on the show.
Yeah, please.
And we'll do a
And
release for it. That would be wonderful.
and I'm glad you like Mara. The hymn of Mara. So
Yes, it was wonderful. It really was. Nina says, "Is there ever a moment when you disagreed with one of your characters?"
how do you mean by that?
Uh, you were going somewhere with it, and maybe you changed your mind.
Um, I sometimes shift gears and pass, but rarely radically. For the most part, I let the characters develop. I get to know the character. Obviously, with good writing, you do have to present obstacles to everything. You can't just make it all smooth sailing because they have to deal with these things. You know, um, Obviously, Mara had to choose between life and her spiritual beliefs. She had the big decision. But with Lawrence, they sort of broke up, and then he gets the letter from Dorothy. That was his ex fiance, saying she wants him back, and the father now approves. So he had that dilemma. So you have to obviously you want to throw roadblocks in the way of your characters, because how they deal with those roadblocks and tribulations and trials says a lot about them as people.
Yes.
But and I look back at all my novels. Rarely have I just totally changed the course of a character. I did that a little bit. My book Sever Ties, then Sever Ties 2, Lenore's Revenge. I actually wrote that like back in the 90s, and it never got published. And then I rewrote it 4 or 5 times, finally got a publisher for it. And I just rewritten it again because one of my characters in that book, I wanted to bring him back a bit in the Seventh Bell, but he was too much of a villain, and he really wasn't meant to be the total villain of Severed Ties. He's meant to be a bad guy, somebody you don't like. He actually gets murdered, in Severed Ties, and in Severed Ties 2, you find out who did it. But I wanted to kind of change his course to make him a little more pathetic, that people look at this guy as kind of pathos as opposed to hatred. So I
Mm-hmm.
rewrote the book again and softened a few scenes with him and added a few scenes where his conflicted personality comes in, his failures and his failures in life. Because he's actually was the an All-American college quarterback, most handsome man on campus, arrogant, conceited, the whole works. But then his life kind of hits a reality skid, and he never ceases being arrogant or conceited. But inside, he starts to realize that, hey, I'm actually a failure. But that's about the only character. That character's named Lance Burkett. He's about the only character that I've really adjusted. Most of them, I let them grow, but I rarely radically change their course or their personality.
Okay, Nina says, what advice would you give to someone who wants to be an author?
Do it. And this is advice that I got, and it's so true. It's that if it's a lousy story, write it anyway. You know, because most of my books that I write, um, I have very little to go in when I start it, and I let it develop. And if I have doubts, I go back to that. Well, write this anyway. Write this anyway, and it usually all works out very well.
What was your easiest book to write? People usually want to know what was your hardest book to write. Which one just flowed and really was there for you?
Um, that's a great question. Out of my 11 books, it would probably be either Rita's Ring or The Golden Strand, because I had the most background in that, as opposed to the one that you read, The Hymn of Mara, which I had no background with it. I'm in the South African Wrestling Hall of Fame, professional wrestling. So Rita's Ring was about a bad guy professional wrestling who falls in love with a beautiful Mexican widow with a incredibly talented 8-year-old daughter, and he's got to overcome his image. She's got to overcome a tragic past. But that kind of flowed because I knew a lot about the inside of wrestling and the locker rooms, the promoters. Um, the Golden Strand, half of it took place in Namibia, back then known as Southwest Africa. So that kind of flowed because I knew the country, I knew the area, the culture. So I was able to tie it all in. Uh, First half, was surfing in Southern California. I didn't want to. I deliberately made sure it did not come off as like Frankie and Annette. But I'd actually spoken to the producer of Endless Summer, and boy, I'm having a senior moment. Why do I forget his name? But I had a nice conversation with him. The movie Endless Summer, so it was somewhat based on that documentary, the surf documentary. Last name was Brown. Why do I not remember his name? And I spoke with Jim Bakke, who the leader of a group called the Tikiyaki Orchestra, who does like a lot of exotica involving um, surf and exotic locales. But I've been to over 40 countries, and I was in South Africa for 10 years, so it was pretty easy to bring that to life. But the Hildenbrand was, I would say, was my most challenging. Yeah.
Oh, I just
And it
it
was
must have
actually,
been
pardon me?
it must
Yeah.
have been amazing to be in so many places.
hmm Well, I'm like the Duke Ellington song now. I don't get around much anymore. So, yeah.
What is your favorite music to listen to when you write?
Absolutely classical, without a doubt. It definitely enhances my motor neurons. Now, sometimes I'll listen to Wagner because it's a balance between harmony and melody, harmony being vocal and melody. So it kind of affects both hemispheres of the brain. Haydn symphonies are very good for making the synapses work. Mozart symphonies, Beethoven, of course. And then I have my favorites like Shostakovich is seventh, Sancion's is third. You know, these are the more dramatic, heavier things. Bruckner's eighth and fourth. Uh, for the Hymn of Mara, I listened to a lot of John Barry's music. Of John Barry, of course, composed movie music. He composed all the James Bond themes.
Ah.
So listening to his music while I wrote, it it kind of put me in the spirit of that exotic locale, which would be 1905 India, which obviously I've never been to 1905, or in fact, I've never been to India for that matter. So that music, it put me in that mood, in that setting. But I also like, although I don't write to it, but I love like 50s doo-wop, 50s, 60s, Motown soul, Philly soul, especially when I'm driving my 51 Chevy. I go back in time.
Oh, I'm sure that must be wonderful.
Hmm.
I mean, and well, Philly's music back then, I still listen to it.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. Teddy Pendergrass and Harold Melvin, MFSB Orchestra, The Intruders. Yeah, that's great music.
and you just gotta love Philly songs too. I mean,
Yeah.
uh, yay, anything with Philly in it. I'm a Philly girl. I can't help it.
Okay.
And
Well, you'll have to read my other book.
my granddaughter's still living in Philly right now,
Oh, okay.
and I'll tell you what, the city is a mess, but you have to love it at the same time because it's Philly.
Well, you have to look at it like looking at a canvas, like a palimpsest. It's been coated over, painted over, totally changed, but the remnants of what it was is still there, and
Yes.
you can see through it. You'll have to read my book now. My book, Chords of Time. First half takes place in a suburb based on Wayne, PA. Second half takes place in South Philly, in Philly. So you'll have to read that one if you're into Philadelphia. Um, and of course, the one I just wrote takes place in Philadelphia.
And there's nowhere in the world to get a better cheesesteak.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Um,
Oh yeah, and the Bluestone Meltdown, of course. That's essential Philadelphia.
and
That's about.
they're still greasing the poles after
Oh yeah.
any game, anytime anybody wins a game. So
Well,
you
there you
gotta love
go.
that. Philly fans are Philly fans.
Oh well. The Bluestone Meltdown is about the '64 Phillies collapse. You're probably aware of that one.
Oh yeah.
And so it's about a fan. It's actually starts in 1992 because I had to keep the time frames right. And he's taken back to 1964 and he's given a chance to prevent the 10-game collapse. And by preventing it, that is stopping Chico Ruiz from stealing home. For people who aren't baseball historians, um, the first game of the 64 Phillies, in a nutshell, they had a 6.5 game lead, hold in first place, only 12 games to play. They were printing World Series tickets, and the team lost 10 straight and blew it. And the first game, they were tied with Cincinnati Reds 0-0 in the sixth inning, and a obscure bench player named Chico Ruiz was on third base. Frank Robinson, a perennial MVP, greatest clutch hitter in the National League, without a doubt, most dangerous hitter in the league, was batting. And he stole home with Frank Robinson batting. And it's just like, people were shocked. It's like, how could anybody do something like that? But he did. He stole home with Frank Robinson batting. The Phillies lost the game 1-0, and they lost the next next 9 games. So the fan is given an opportunity to actually stop Chico Ruiz from stealing home.
That's
And
fabulous.
and they win the pennant, but then again, it has its unintended consequences, as changing time does. And also, the Sever Tie series takes place on the main line. So, and the football player I mentioned, Lance Burkett, I had him playing for Penn, Pennsylvania. So
I'm still,
we
I'm still
reenact Franklin Field and what Ivy League football was in the '50s, which is a great thing if no one's ever experienced it. Which I think.
I'm still praying our Sixers ever get a win.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, okay, I need to get off Philly sports. This is not a
I
Philly
know.
sports show. Ah, um, Nina says, how do you overcome writer's block?
Read,
Yep,
read.
great
I'm between
answer.
books right now. I'm brainstorming my new novel. It's going to be at least the first half's going to be very difficult to write, and I'm just reading right now. I'm waiting for a couple of books to come in, which will give me the background I need to get started. But for some reason, the mail or distributors from the companies are dragging their feet, so I'm kind of in limbo right now because I'm climbing the walls with nothing to write. So I'm just reading. You know.
That's good. That's what I do. And well,
Yeah.
I'm always reading. As a matter of fact, I have a book to finish so I can put in my review for book group.
Hmm.
And then I have another book to read for a show next week. And if I'm always reading, I read
Okay.
while I eat. I read while I sleep, I think,
All right.
or I should be sleeping anyway.
Well, I've got 10 other books out there in the market for you to read, so go
Yes, you
through it.
do. I'm looking forward to it too.
Thank you.
I'll have to ask Eleanor to hook me up for next month.
Okay. Well, I put Chords of Time up for next month.
Hmm?
I put up my book, Chords of Time.
I think I put up. Well, I put up one book, but Eleanor had me switch it so she could read it.
Okay.
I had to give her a warning, though.
Hmm.
Okay, so it's about that time. Thank you so much for being on the show. I have really enjoyed getting to know you and hearing about your books. And if you would please put up your link to all your books
Okay.
and a little
Well,
promo on my Facebook page,
okay.
that would be fabulous. Nina has already put your links up here with the show so everybody can find you.
Okay.
But if you would like to put a little promo up on my page, that would be great.
Sure.
And I'm
Appreciate
looking
that. I'm not
forward.
very good at promotion. That's kind of holding me back a little bit.
Oh, I hate doing
But
it too. That's why I
yeah.
have Nina.
Hmm. Yeah, I wish I had something. I'm not real good with tech. As you know, I struggled to get this through.
Well,
Okay.
hey, then you'll know how next time, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, and there are some questions that we did not get to. So if you want to go back and watch this and answer them later,
Well,
and
I mean, can always
more.
have me on again next week, and I'll be happy to answer your questions.
Oh, that'll be great. Well, we
Yeah.
will have you back, I promise, especially when the next book comes out.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. We'll
You
do.
just
That
all
sounds like
you
a
have
great
to
idea.
do anytime you would like to be on is just get a hold of Nina, and she will
Okay.
put you on the calendar.
Will
So,
do.
if you want to hang on after we say goodbye, I will talk to you for a minute or two.
Yeah.
And thank you, everybody, for watching the show. And we will see you soon. I'm not sure when, but Nina knows. So thank you all and have a great weekend. Thank you, Gregory, for being here. Bye
Yeah.
bye. Love you.
Thank you. Bye bye.